So recently I saw this clip of the Craig Carton show. It's been circulating on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, of him talking about Draymond Green and whether he deserves to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame or not. So let's take a listen.
I want to be clear. Draymond Green is going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Based on his numbers, he just doesn't deserve to be. It's a numbers game, man. All sports come down to numbers. And his numbers belie the truth that Draymond Green is not a Hall of Famer, and yet Draymond Green will be a Hall of Famer. He might even be a first ballot Hall of Famer, depending on when other guys retire and what that class looks like and how many dudes retire in the same year when they finally become eligible.
Yep.
But I knew I'd get you on that.
No,
I knew it, and I feel like I'm just having a great day today.
To help you a little bit, I looked up what the geeks think about him with the advanced stats, and here are players that they compare him to real fast.
Give me three.
Gordon Hayward,
not a Hall of Famer.
Christian Laettner,
not a Hall of Famer.
Zach Randolph.
Thank you. That's exactly where he is. And if not for Steph Curry, he'd be thought of as Zach Curry. That's exactly right. Yeah. And by the way, if anyone compares you at the NBA level to Christian Laettner, they're trying to be nice to you, and they don't want to tell you to your face that you're not a Hall of Famer. So they compare it to a guy who's a great college player.
One-time All-Star.
Period.
Yeah, Christian Laettner was a one-time All-Star. Literally, one-time All-Star.
All right, so there you have it. You heard what Craig Carton had to say, and man, I could not disagree more when it comes to what he had to say about Draymond Green and getting the Hall of Fame. I know he said Draymond Green will make it to the Hall of Fame, but he just disagrees with, him getting in because of his numbers. It's a numbers game, right? I think Draymond Green, I know Draymond Green is one of the rare cases. And if you just stat sheet watch, if you just go to career numbers, you go like, this guy shouldn't get in, right? If you just strictly look at the numbers, right? But as we know, basketball is more than that. Basketball is about accolades, basketball intangibles. And you can say what you want about Draymond Green. I understand people don't like. I understand he rubs people the wrong way. You can dislike him for his antics on the court. You think he was a dirty player, take some cheap shots over the course of his career. You can not like him for the Jordan Poole situation, the Kevin Durant situation, all that stuff, right? You can not like him for his pot, whatever, right? The way he talks, who cares? But when it comes to basketball, him being on the court is really not. I feel like if you truly watch basketball and you know how big of an impact Draymond Green had with this Warriors dynasty, then I don't think it's a question. You don't really question it, right? I mean, let's take a look at his numbers, right? I know Craig Carton just strictly brought up numbers, but let's take a look at Draymond Green's numbers, right? Okay. For his career, about close to 9.7 boards, 6 assists a game, right? That doesn't blow you away. But when you look at these accolades, 4-time All-Star, still champ, led the league in steals 1 year, 4-time NBA champ, 2-time All-NBA, right? 9-time All-Defensive, depoy. Like, come on. Yeah, like, it's the accolades. And I know Draymond is not the scorer that he's not going to blow you away with his points, right? But when he was shooting the three ball at I wouldn't say a high clip, at a respectable clip, you can see in these 4 years, you see 33, about 38 from 1 year. That was his best career. Actually, he's shooting 38 from 3 this year. But how many attempts? 4 attempts. So he's shooting the ball pretty well earlier this season. But you would say scoring prime, as you see from 20. What year is that? 2014 to 2018, he's averaging around 12 points a game. So that's not bad. That was his scoring prime. But as we know, when it comes to Draymond Green, it's more than just scoring the basketball. He is for that dynasty, the Warriors dynasty, he was, you could say he was the heart and soul. He brought, that toughness. Like I said, intangibles that you can't quantify, you can't put it, it doesn't show up in the stat sheet, right? When I think of a Draymond Green, of course, give credit to Steve Curry, give credit to, of course, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all those guys around him, KD, Iggy, the list goes on and on, right? But when you think of a Draymond Green and how at one point, not at one point, but there was a time in basketball where I remember I was younger. I had to be 10, like growing up in that, like 2000s. If guys were 6'6" to like 6'8", and they weren't like a true shooting guard or a true small forward, like they didn't get as much what would you say, attention. They weren't regarded as high as those guys who had a clear distinctive position. They were considered tweeners, and teams would shy away from tweeners. Like, every time a guy would get drafted, like, oh, he's 6'7". We don't know if he's a 3. We don't know if he's a 4. He can bang down low. He can play a little bit 5. They didn't know what to do with guys like that. Draymond Green comes around. I'm not saying he was the first, but he definitely stood out in terms of a guy 6'6", 6'7", and his defensive versatility pretty much helped shape this new era of how the small ball lineup, right? Where your biggest guy on the court is 6'7", right? Your biggest guy on the court is 6'8". We even saw how the Houston Rockets changed their entire landscape of their team, right? You remember, if you're a Rockets fan, I'm a Rockets fan, it was a point in time where PJ Tucker was the starting center for the Houston Rockets. And that was all to match up with the Golden State Warriors. And Draymond Green had a big part in, why the Rockets were shaping their team. The Rockets were constructed to beat the Warriors. The Rockets ran into the Warriors. That was their biggest, they couldn't get over the hump against the Warriors in those Harden years. So, and Draymond Green had a lot to do with that. So to discredit Draymond Green, like I said, you don't have to love him for, the off the court, not even off the court, but his like I said, his antics and other stuff. But to say he's not a Hall of Famer, man, that just because of his numbers, come on, man. It's the eye test, it's the accolades. Come on, man. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on what Craig Carton had to say. Do you think Draymond is a Hall of Famer? I do. Comparing him to Hayward and Leitner, come on, that's disrespectful. Respectfully. On his memory here at Rocker Park. At his theme. Somebody leave the basket. We're gonna see him on the Fargo post. Snacks. Tell me yesterday, HBC.
Man, once again, man, I appreciate you having me, man. And congrats, man, on the platform. And I say keep it going, keep doing your thing.